again. This is Artie Rose from the fictional baseball universe, and we are back with our simulation of the 1986 Major League Baseball season with wild cards and the DH rule in both leagues, which didn't exist in this particular season. So we are at Monday, September 1st, the beginning of the stretch to the end of the season. We're about 130 games in, so there's about 30 games or so left in the season. In the AL East, the Red Sox are on top. The Toronto Blue Jays are in second, and the New York Yankees, who I am trying to manage into the postseason, are starting to flounder a little bit in third place. They are 3-7 in their last 10 games, and they've lost the last 4 in a row. So, got some issues to deal with. Hopefully, we can straighten them out and get them down the stretch and into the playoffs. In the AL West, California Angels have the best record in baseball at 83-47. They're followed by the Kansas City Royals. The Royals are in second place in the wild card race. Yankees are still very much in it. They are a game and a half behind the Royals. So we're hoping we can get in. In the National League, the Mets are on top. In the NL East, they actually won the World Series the last time they ever won in 1986. They're 2 games ahead of the Philadelphia Phillies. In the National League West, the Houston Astros are running away with it. They got a 14-game lead over the San Francisco Giants and the Cincinnati Reds. The wild card race, the 2 top teams are the Phillies and the Montreal Expos. We look at some leaderboards. Fred Lynn is on top of the American League batting race, tied with Don Mattingly at 337. We move over to the National League. Tim Raines from Montreal is batting 344. Ray Knight is right behind him at 340. Jesse Barfield is leading the majors with 33 home runs. Glenn Davis from Houston is leading the National League with 26. Don Mattingly is leading the American League with 106 RBIs, and Mike Schmidt is also tied with him with 106 RBIs to lead the National League. Ricky Henderson leads the American League in stolen bases with 89. Vince Coleman has 114. Going down to some pitching, we have Scott Bankhead from Kansas City has the best ERA with a 2.09. In the National League, we have Sean Raleigh, who's been consistent, still holding a 2.35 ERA. Kurt McCaskill has become a 20-game winner with the California Angels. And J.A. Tibbs from Montreal leads the National League with 17 wins. Strikeouts, Mark Langston from Seattle leads the American League with 248. And Mike Scott is on top of the National League with 260. Tom Henke still holding the lead with saves, 35. And Dave Smith from Houston is leading the National League with 31. And that's it for the overall report. We're going to take a short break and come back with the New York Yankees homepage and see what's going on with them. We'll be back in a moment. Okay, welcome back. So here we are with the Yankees home screen up and looking at our primary lineup. Uh, Hitting's not the problem here. We have Ricky Henderson having a great year, 272, 17 home runs, 53 RBIs. Claudia Washington, who we acquired in a trade, batting 274, 15 home runs, 30 RBIs. Don Mattingly is having like a MVP type season here, batting 337, 30 home runs, and 106 RBIs. Danny Pasqua, who was I believe he was a rookie in 1985, he came up. But he's batting 307 with 20 home runs and 59 RBIs. Um, yeah, very interesting. The pitching is the problem here. We have injuries. Tommy John back on the injured list. We have Bob Tewksbury, who was uh, actually having a pretty good season. Uh, he's injured. Butch Weiniger, who was the backup catcher, and Bobby Meacham, who was the regular shortstop, all on the injured list. But pitching wise, Doug Drabeck is having a terrible year, 4-8. This kid, Scott Nielsen, is 7-0. He's actually doing pretty good. We had to put this Alphonse Polito in. Figured give him a shot. He lost his first two games, and he's got a 4.37 ERA. Um, Bullpen is just looks like mediocre. Their ERAs, other than Dave Getty with a 2.54 ERA or 4.35. So it is what it is. Looking at the schedule for September, we start off on the West Coast. We're playing the Angels, who are the best team in baseball right now, over this first weekend. And then we have Toronto and Boston, who are our main competitors in front of us in the division. And then the schedule gets a little bit easier with the Orioles, although Detroit is right on our tail. The 1986 Detroit Tigers. So it's an interesting schedule for September. So hopefully they can come out of their struggles and hopefully get into the playoffs. So that's it for the Yankees. Um, we're going to come back in a few minutes and review the Mets. So we'll see you after the break. So we're back and we have the Mets team screen up, and as you can see, uh, hitting, they are having a pretty good season. They have, I see, three there. They have three 300 hitters in the primary lineup, and then Kevin Mitchell, who's at 293, so he's just and Wally Backman at 294. So they almost have five 300 hitters in their primary lineup. Ray Knight's leading the team, and he's also in the top three in batting in the National League with a 340 average. Gary Carter leads the team with 23 home runs and also 77 RBIs. On pitching, Bobby Ojeda is leading the team in ERA with 2.50. Dwight Gooden has 15 wins Ron Darling, 14 wins. Sid Fernandez, 13 wins. Sid Fernandez leads the pitching staff with 218 strikeouts. So they have a pretty even distribution. They have some great pitching and very good hitting. They're on top of the NL East by 2 games, and looks like they will get into the postseason unless something drastic happens. So that is the wrap up for the update for September 1st. We will probably finish out the season because it ends on October 2nd, I believe, and give you an update of how it all winds up and who is in the playoffs. And then the fun begins. So until then, we'll see you. Have a good day.